We just received a pretty big update regarding the Oklahoma City Thunder and their ratings on NBA 2K. Yes, I know NBA 2K has not been the game it has in prior years. 2K25, it wasn't the greatest in the world. 2K24 as well. But with Shai being on the cover of 2K26, I am sure us Thunder fans are going to be buying the game because our star athlete is the cover athlete for NBA 2K. We're going to give it one last chance here. And with the ratings I've seen lately, some people are split on them. Some people are talking like, I don't know. We just got the first, top 100 players list, and it's only players 100 through 80 that we know of so far. 80 or 81, I can't remember where the cutoff is. I think it's 80. And two Thunder players are featured on that, Isaiah Hartenstein and Lu Dort, okay? And I got to say, I think their ratings are pretty spot on when you look at stats in the prior year, this past season. All right, look at what they did, the impact that they've had for the team. I think it's pretty spot on. So we're going to go and break down the ratings that they had and just kind of correlate into what I think their ratings in certain areas are going to be just based off of stats and how, honestly, with everything I've heard about the 2K from inside sources that I know some people over at, Take-Two Media, this game is looking like a lot of fun. I will say that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ratings. Before we get into all that, though, quick moment to recognize that 61.1% of you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel, but you find yourself coming back on a regular basis. All I ask of you guys is if you do enjoy the content, you're coming back, but you're not subscribed, I would really like it if you guys hit that subscribe button, but I get it if you guys don't, all right? So, it's the best way to support the channel. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into talking about these 2K ratings. And like I said, 2K hasn't been the game in past years. There's been some questions about it being too easy for casuals to play against top-ranked pros. They've found ways to fix that a little bit, but some people don't like it. It reminds me of Kevin Durant tweet about how NBA fans are always going to have something to complain about the NBA. What I've seen from the game so far and what I've heard from people that I know over at Take-Two Media working on the game, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I will say that. I've heard that it reminds people of like a 2K, 18, 2K19 kind of feel to the game. And if we, that's kind of the last time the whole community kind of agreed that NBA 2K was a fantastic game. So I'm really excited for it to come out. But I am really excited to take a look at some of these rankings as we have the first top 100 rankings list for NBA 2K. Right here, 90 through 81, you can see a few players on here: Walker Kessler, Herb Jones, Drew Holiday. Then you have Lu Dort in the middle of all that rated at an 81 overall. I think it's a pretty solid rating. I think he's personally more of an 83, 84 when you look at some stats, and he wasn't rated a top 10 three-point shooter in 2K. Questionable. Isaiah Joe was over him, but Lu Dort was the best three-point shooter on the team for the Oklahoma City Thunder during the regular season. He was also surprisingly one of the better ones in the playoffs if you look at stats on a poor shooting three-point team. I know it wasn't great numbers from him, but it wasn't great numbers from anyone on the Thunder. But as you can see right there, 81 overall. I just don't like the fact that Walker Kessler is a higher rated player than him, and there's some other players that are higher rated than him as well that I just personally don't agree with either. CJ McCollum is also rated the same as him. I would have CJ McCollum the same. I would have Lu Dort a little bit higher than CJ McCollum by like 2 or 3 overalls. But this is also personal preference. But then you get into later on the list, okay, 80 through 71. Sorry, all the way through 71. And now I thought it was only 80 or 81 for some reason. Then you have Isaiah Hartenstein at an 82 overall. I don't think Isaiah Hartenstein should be a higher overall player than Dort. I think, if anything, they should just flip. And this is no diss to Isaiah Hartenstein whatsoever. I think a majority of us can agree Lu Dort is a better overall player than Isaiah Hartenstein. I just think the best thing to do would just flip their two ratings. Lu Dort 82, Isaiah Hartenstein 81. It's not much of a difference there, but I just think overall Lu Dort is a better all-around player than Hartenstein when you look at how much they put into, how much like overall just for the ratings they put in three-point shooting, perimeter defense, steals, these counting stats. I think that's why he should be higher than Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein is probably going to have a high rebounding stat. He's probably going to have a high block stat. He's probably going to have a high interior defense stat, and then close shot. But other than that, he's not really going to have anything else. And close shot, interior defense, they don't play a large part into overall rating in 2K. So I am interested to kind of see what the rest of those ratings are going to look at. But if we go in and take a look at their season stats last year, I think we can kind of get an inside look at what each one is going to look like. Because we already know Lu Dort is the top perimeter defender in NBA 2K next year. Well, that came out. But let's go and start with Isaiah Hartenstein, since he is the overall rated player that's higher than Lu Dort. 27.9 minutes a game last year, 11.2 points, 10.7 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.1 blocks, 0.8 steals, 1.7 turnovers, 3 fouls a game, and 58% from the field. 7 foot, 27 years old, 81% of his twos are assisted, and he has a defensive box plus minus of 2.6. That was his plus minus last year. So I'm looking at these stats. I'll go and keep it up for a little bit while we talk about it as well, so you guys can follow along with me. That high field goal percentage of 58.1%. I think he's going to have a close shot close to the 90s, if not in the 90s for sure, along with a standing dunk of close to probably 80. But a driving dunk, I don't know if it's going to be super high, probably like a 60. I've never really seen him take flight flying down the lane, so I don't think that's going to be super high. His rebounds are going to be very, very high. He's probably going to have a 90-plus defensive rebound and then like a 75-plus offensive rebound as well. I feel like it's very hard to get high-rated offensive rebounds no matter what in 2K. That's why I don't have it as an 80-plus overall. And then the close shot, maybe driving layups a little bit high as well, maybe like a 75. Post control might be a little bit high. But it's one stat that I think a lot of people are going to be kind of surprised at is his passing accuracy, because he averaged 3.8 assists. And at times he looked like the second or best passer on the Thunder. He did, and I think his passing accuracy number is going to be probably 75, close to 80. There aren't many other players of that size in the league that pass better than Isaiah Hartenstein. The only other one I can think of is Nikola Jokic, and I'm not saying they're on the same level of passing. I'm just saying for his size, Isaiah Hartenstein does it really well, and the fact that we can only think of one better passer as Nikola Jokic, that says a lot about his game. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lu Dort now. In 29.2 minutes, he averaged 10.1 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 0.5 blocks, 1.1 steals, 0.7 turnovers, 2.9 fouls a game. He shot 43.5% from the field and 41.2% from three, 6'4", 26 years old, 42.1% on corner threes, and then 95.9% of his threes are assisted, and then almost 70% of all of his shots are three-pointers. I think something that took a lot of people by surprise this past season was Lu Dort and his three-point numbers at 41.2%. That was the best overall percentage on the Oklahoma City Thunder during the regular season. When you look at it, he was the best three-point shooter, and a lot of people didn't even recognize it. And I think that's a testament to how good he is defensively, because many people are more focused on his defense, whether they think he's, a sham at it. A lot of people think he just fouls hard and gets away with a ton of stuff. I will say there are times he has fouled hard and got away with it, but I will say majority of the time he brings a physicality that doesn't foul. He uses his upper body, his chest area, to kind of stay in front of defenders, and that's not a foul. It isn't, okay? Especially when the offense is initiating the contact, that's a foul on the offense. But like I said, he had the highest rated perimeter defense in the game. I'm pretty sure he was top 10 in steals as well. I'm interested to see some other stats. I'm interested to see what his three-point percentage is. Isaiah Joe had a higher rated three-point shooting, three-point number than Lu Dort for 2K26. I think it should be in the 80s. If he puts up a season like he did last season, you could see it jump up to a 90, 91 overall for his three-point number. And then I get why he wouldn't be rated higher than Isaiah Hartenstein when I look at the stats a little bit, but I think his just three-point number is too low as it is, considering he's not in the top 10, but yet he shot 41.2% from three in 29 minutes a game, and almost all of his shots were three-pointers. Almost all of them were. So that's where I'm kind of at the point where, I think that's why he's so low, is they're doubting his three-point numbers, even though he was a fantastic three-point shooter in the regular season. I think they looked at his playoff numbers way too much. And yes, his playoff numbers weren't the greatest in the world for three-point shooting, but that entire Thunder team didn't have great three-point shooting performances by anyone. That was a problem we talked about in the regular season that could haunt him. It almost did, but they ultimately won the championship, so they're fine. Pretty much running back the same team minus Dylan Jones. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But when I look at the current ratings that they have out for Lu Dort, he's a top perimeter defender. He's already a top defender in the game. When you look at some of the stats that they have released, I think the reason he's rated as an 81 and not as an 83 or 84 is because for some reason they're still doubting his three-point shot. I think he should have a higher overall rated three-point shot than Isaiah Joe, just because when you look at the stats, Lu Dort was statistically the best three-point shooter on the Oklahoma City Thunder, not Isaiah Joe. It's no disrespect to any player on the team. I just think that 2K is just looking at his three-point shot in the playoffs only and not during the regular season. I think that's why he's rated so, when I say low, lower than Isaiah Hartenstein and some of these other players, because we can go ahead and take a look at this list again. Cooper Flagg, as a rookie, is already rated higher overall than Lu Dort. I think Lu Dort should be an 83 overall because of his three-pointer, and then you'd see him in that top 70 range. I like, honestly, he should be in the same realm as Aaron Gordon. Him and Aaron Gordon should be 83 overalls. All right. Denny Avdia should not be rated higher than him. I don't think Jalen Durant should be rated higher than him. I don't think Jalen Suggs should be. Like a lot of these guys, I just don't see it. And then we can also go back to this other one. Like I don't think Walker Kessler, especially Walker Kessler, I don't think he should be rated higher than Lu Dort, especially along with Kamara. All right. I don't think those two guys, I say two, like 5, 6 guys I listed off there should be rated higher than Lu Dort. But like I said, I think this is because they are sleeping on his 3-point shot and only looking at the playoff numbers. So I still think it's amazing to see this. The Thunder will for sure have 5 guys in the top 100 players list. I'm interested to see where they're going to put Alex Caruso as a bench player, if he's going to be in that top 100 or if he's going to be lower than 80 overall. They could potentially have 6, but they for sure will have 5 with Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sorry, my mouth's running dry, so it's getting really hard to pronounce 8 names here. So I'm really interested to see what they do with that. Shai should be the number 1 player on 2K, especially since he's the cover athlete. Jalen Williams should be top 20, and then Chet Holmgren should be top 35. So that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think about their 2K ratings, or if you even really care about them. I'll see you guys in the next one.